including the race here a year ago and most recently at Kentucky last month.
Larry Mack just took his shoes off. He's officially in the booth.
I am nestled in here for nationwide qualifying, Sprint Cup Series qualifying, whatever else DW won't do.
It's something he will do.
Ooh. You better be glad he can't hear what you're saying.
He's listening. He's right there in that motor coach listening.
You sure he got back there by now?
I passed him on the way.
Brad Baker in the 43 making just his second start of this 2010 season. Top 30 in owner points locked in here for tonight's race.
Now, to me, this is a lot of pressure right now that's going to be eventually put on Brad Baker and his team. They're 27th in the points. They need to pick up their performance level right now. Otherwise, they're going to be, on the outside looking in.
And that's a whole different ball game when you load up your team and your equipment, haul off to a place that is not right around the corner. You've already spent money, and if you don't make the race, you don't get paid.
No, you don't get paid, and you spend a lot of money getting there. Now, Larry, you talked about it. Right now, this Nationwide Series is in the beginning of their Midwest swing, and they got a lot of races out in this area, which are, it's 14 to 16 hours from most of them's home base down in the Carolinas.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 7th race of 16 consecutive races. It started back at Charlotte in May, and their next off weekend will be the first race of the Chase weekend at Loudon. But, yeah, they race here. They go to St. Louis next week, ORP, and then they go to Iowa. Marty, a place where I think the guy you're with may like.
Oh, he loves that.
Well, Phil, don't forget NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot. Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick join the team live. Plus, find out who's in good shape for the chase and who could be on the outside looking in. That's 4:30 Eastern, only on Speed. Landon Cassill just turned 21 years old this week. 3 starts in 2010. He's also driving the number 71 car in the Cup Series.
Yeah, if you remember at Michigan last month, he actually qualified for that Sprint Cup Series race driving the James Finch car over there, the 09 car in the Sprint Cup Series.
Yeah, Landon's done some developmental work with
Hendrick
Motorsports, done a lot of testing for them. Now he finds himself behind the wheel of Robbie Benton's entry. Robbie Benton working to keep this 09 up in the top 30 in points. I mean, we put a big emphasis on it, guys. I always talk about points and being in that top 30, but it's such a huge, you can plan. You can make so much more plans when you're in that top 30, and you get an opportunity. That's a sellable item when you go into just like.
You're in the show.
Yeah, you can call up somebody and say, look, can you help us here at Chicagoland? Well, how do you know you're going to be racing? We're locked in. We're going to race on Friday night. So if you help us out, we're going to get you on TV. We're going to get you some mentions. So when you see a car like this for Robbie Benton and Landon Cassill, the 09, you're sitting back there at home, you say, I'd like to help somebody out. Call them up. All you got to do is make a deal with them. Don't you, Larry? I mean, just give them a holler.
Yes, sir.
They'll work with you.
One thing I was noticing, not that it would affect it a whole lot, but they had actually had a left front hood pin flopping in the breeze on this 09 car.
Landon Cassill, 23rd overall, slowed down just a tick on his second lap.
See it there flopping around a little bit.
But yeah, a lot like Johnny Davis. These teams will work with people, even if it's buying their tires for the race or just helping them to any degree.
And the other thing,
David Gilliland hopes to make his 9th Nationwide Series start of 2010. His best start this year, 8th at Dover.
see where he got his first win at Kentucky Speedway at racetrack. Very similar to this right here.
It's definitely what put him on the map.
It really did.
NASCAR.
Got him a shot drive for Robert Yates.
Let's go back to Mr. Snyder.
And Mr. Burns, so far 11th fastest for the number 11 car, Brian Scott. And you said you left a little bit out there, but you also said it's nice just to qualify decently again.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks have been pretty rough on us. Unfortunately, we haven't been handling like we wanted to in our number 11 car in the Nationwide Insurance Series, and it's good to be back. These tracks have kind of always been our bread and butter for the Braun Racing team and the number 11 team. It's where we've had our strongest runs are on the intermediate type tracks. So it's good to come back to these type of tracks. It's good to have a really good handling race car again. And I'm looking forward to tonight's race. I think it'll be nice. I think once it cools down here.
Thank you, Marty. I want to remind everybody that Sunday, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series invades the Hawkeye State, and Speed is there for all the 3 wide, door-to-door, full throttle excitement. Don't miss the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series live from Iowa Sunday at 1:30 Eastern, only on Speed.
You know, I'm anxious to watch that race on Sunday, one of only 2 races they run on Sunday. But the thing I'm probably the most anxious about, really starting to get curious, because I know on the Race Hub show this coming Monday night, there's a big announcement that's inside the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. I'm pretty curious what that's all about.
I figure with all the sources you got, you'd already know.
I don't. I didn't even know anything was going to be announced there until you promoted earlier.
I bet Phil Parsons knows. Phil, do you know?
Same.
Phil Parsons, do you know what the announcement is on Monday on NASCAR Race Hub?
Can you believe that my broadcast partner, Rick Allen, part of the Allen Parsons Project, has not even told me what that announcement is?
Is he trying to big time you now? Is that what he's trying to do?
Well, apparently. Apparently,
Phil,
I'm going to have to get on him. But though he is picking me up at the airport, though.
I was going to say, when do you go to Iowa? Saturday night or Sunday morning? Or
Sunday morning.
All right.
So Phil's just like us. He'll have to watch Race Hub Monday night.
That's right. Well, I'm going to be with him now for several hours on Sunday.
See if you can try that out and give us like a little hint. You know?
I'll give you guys a call and let you know.
There you go.
Great run by David Gilliland as we watch Kevin Hamlin, by the way. Gilliland 11th overall, and good run by Hamlin 18th.
I would dare say both those gentlemen right there can go ahead and get ready to race.
Eric McClure, Ryan Newman, Jeremy Clements, Dennis Setzer, Josh Wise.
Mark has qualified for 14 of the 17 races so far. A lot like the Sprint Cup Series, this series is essentially halfway through their 2010 season.
293 career starts for Mark. Made his very first start at ORP back in 1995.
Man, he sailed that bad boy down in turn 1.
You know, as we're watching Mark Green qualifying, I look at some of our go or go homers. You know, the one I think that could be the biggest shot to go up against Kevin Harvick will be Ryan Newman, who we talked to a little while ago. But Harvick's on the pole right now. 9 previous races here. This race has never been won from the pole position in the Nationwide Series.
That's an oddity.
It is. You know, you don't see in neither series, this is our 10th year to come here to Chicagoland Speedway, but in neither series, it just seems like that no one has really gotten their arms around this racetrack as far as qualifying, as far as the race. I think the biggest thing is coming here only once a year, right in the middle of the season. Setups change, this track changes. Normally by the time we come back here, Goodyear's brought a different tire combination. It's just hard to get your arms around it when you go a full year without racing here.
Moving target, moving target.
Mark Green, 18th overall, second quick of the go or go home drivers. David Gilliland now officially locked into the show. 11th overall for Gilliland. Stay with us. Let's see if Kevin Harvick wins the pole position. Veteran Dennis Setzer out of Newton, North Carolina, a 2-time winner in the Nationwide Series. Back when Ricky Pearson was his crew chief, driving the number 59 car.
Now, Larry, I thought I heard you say earlier today when we were talking to Eddie Pearson that you talked to Larry Pearson.
I did. Of course, Larry was injured in that Legends race back at Bristol in the spring, and you know, he's had a tough go of it, but I'm telling you, Larry is so upbeat. Every time I try to talk to him a couple of times a month, and he's working hard on his rehabilitation and seemed in great spirits when I talked to him about a week ago.
In the pool now doing some therapy work, and you know, Larry, former champion of this series.
2-time champion.
And we know Larry, he's been watching every single one of our shows. And if you're listening today, Larry, you know, you just keep digging, get well soon. And certainly we know also Brian Vickers has been watching a lot of our speed shows. And we want to wish Brian a quick, speedy recovery on his illness. Look forward to seeing them all back at the racetrack.
First lap good enough for 21st for Dennis Setzer in his 92 car.
He's flirting with getting locked in, but he will not on that lap, but he could be the next car to get locked in, as that will lock Mark Green in that 49 car into the show for tonight.
Looking for the latest stats and results from the track? Stay informed and make your best fantasy picks using Speed's comprehensive NASCAR stats. For the latest practice and qualifying reports, race results, and driver standings, get more at the NASCAR section of Speed.com. So Ryan Newman, David Gilliland, Eric McClure, Parker Kligerman, and Mark Green now locked into the show for tonight's race as Josh Wise out of Riverside, California, next up to qualify.
You know, just to show you, I think, one, how hot it is here this weekend and how much grip this track has lost in the last 4 or 5 years. We talked about Ryan Newman a while ago. He's actually the track record holder here back when he was running some Nationwide Series race for Penske. In 2005, he ran a 28.96 over 186 miles an hour.
Wow. As
you can see right now, close to a second and a half off that track record here today.
Dennis Setzer hoping to be the next driver who is locked in.
Now, Steve, we were talking about how tight the field was in the Sprint Cup Series. But when you start looking at what's going on here, especially with our go or go homers, look where these guys are all log jammed up. From about where 17th Eric McClure is all the way down to where Josh Wise is 24th. I mean, they are just about stacked on top of one another.
And it could be really tight as to who makes it and who has to go home.
Oh,
About
absolutely.
1/1000th of a second if we're not careful. Josh Wise just locked himself in on that second lap, though, guys.
Sure did. Picked up quite a bit from lap 1 to lap 2.
Coming up, we'll have Shelby Howard, Willie Allen, Johnny Chapman, Kevin LePage, Danny O'Quinn Jr. That's Johnny Chapman driving Morgan Shepherd's race car. Of course, Shepherd in the 21 car of Richard Childress Racing. Chapman swept up in a wreck last weekend at Daytona with Jennifer Jo Cobb. And we'll see if Johnny can get that number 89 in the field.
And we're getting down to that point right now. If the 89 wants to be automatically locked in, he's got to pass. Be just on that other side, to the left-hand side of that green mark. He'll have an opportunity to lock himself in.
Johnny was 34th in practice at a 31.37. He's flirting with it, but I'm just not sure he's going to get there.
Yes,
he locks in. He does. He barely beats Dennis Setzer. Got a great run off turn 4 back to the start-finish line.
By 3/1000ths of a second.
Yep, he ran a 31.034 to Dennis Setzer's 31.037.
What his owner will not like is that's about 3/4 of a second quicker than Morgan ran in that Richard Childress car.
Well, wait a minute, Larry. Morgan's locked in. Now Johnny's locked in. What's there not to like about that?
I hear you. I just think Morgan anticipated they'd be a lot quicker, but I think that thing came together so quick. They didn't get here till about 7 o'clock this morning, and they were really scrambling around down there.
It's the way they're going to race. That's what he's going to probably be more focused on than anything else. I'm talking about Morgan Shepherd. But again, it was a really good lap right there by Johnny Chapman getting himself locked in. And Marty, what's going on down on pit road?
Well, an impressive lap for Shelby Howard, who said his nerves finally just now calmed down. Did that lap even surprise you a little bit, you think?
It did. The Ford Travel Chevrolet was pretty tight today in practice, and when you're go or go homer, you're always nervous to make changes after practice is over to have it better to qualify for tonight's race. And the guys definitely did a good job today. They got the car freed up, and I think we'll be in pretty good shape tonight.
Yeah, and he said the one thing about the qualifying lap, it was a little loose. That makes him a little more positive about what's going to happen tonight, guys.
No question, because she'll gain some grip and she'll tighten up a little bit tonight.
Hey, Hammond, he didn't say anything about the Pheasant Ranch.
Well, it's like this.
Rooster
right here.
Heaven.
Oh,
You know,
what I say, Pheasant Ranch?
Pheasant Ranch. Are you getting that confused with another ranch?
Well, that's what you said. They hunt pheasant, right?
Yes.
Good, Jack.
Well, Kevin LePage does a nice job. He is locked in. And Brian Keselowski is unfortunately bumped out.
Yeah, what Kevin was hunting, he found. And that was a starting position tonight.
And not a pheasant.
Exactly.
And Dennis Setzer is still sitting there just on the outside looking in.
Sure
Has
is.
been for a number of cars here.
By 0.003 of a second. Johnny Chapman noses Dennis Setzer.
Looks like Kevin's he'll slow down, but that first lap was plenty good enough.
So Kevin LePage, 12th overall. He's locked in. Brian Keselowski bumped out. We'll find out if Kevin Harvick will take the pole position. And if he does, he has a membership to the Rooster Heaven Hunt Club.
Just don't have a good feeling about that at all.
Great news for Danny O'Quinn Jr. He is 13th overall and locked in. Bad news for Kevin Hamlin in the 36 car. Hamlin will not race this evening.
So we're down now that the difference in and out is 5/100ths of a second.
5/100ths, and it could be narrower than that, Larry. I mean,